Categories of organic compounds. An organic compound is a covalently bonded compound that contains carbon excluding carbonates and oxides. There are four major types of organic compounds. The first one we're going to talk about is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. They can be energy sources, or structural sources. And they can exist as monosaccharides, disaccharides, or polysaccharides. Below I've shown some examples of monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. Monosaccharides mean it has one unit. So glucose is an example of a monosaccharide. Maltose consists of two units, two meaning di. So that's a disaccharide. And as you can see, it's like there's two glucose units in one maltose. And now we have cellulose, which is something that's known for its structural support in plants and cell walls. And it is a polysaccharide. And here we have shown two of the units, but this would just repeat over and over and over. So it's a polysaccharide. The next type of organic compound we're going to talk about is protein. Proteins are chains of amino acid and they're made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Some examples of proteins would be hair, horns, and enzymes. An example of the molecular structure is shown here. And much like polysaccharides, proteins consist of lots of repeating units. And this is just showing like what one unit might be. The next type of organic compound we're going to talk about is lipids. Lipids have a large number of carbon-hydrogen bonds. They're usually nonpolar in their bodies, and they have a polar head. They store energy because they have so many bonds that's a good way to store energy. And they can be examples of like waxes, steroids, triglycerides, or phospholipids. Below I've shown an example of what a lipid might look like. This portion would be the nonpolar body, where this portion would be the polar head. Lastly, we're going to talk about nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are large, complex information storage molecules. So there are two main types, and that is RNA and DNA. And these consist of nitrogen base, a phospho or a phosphate group, and a 5-carbon sugar. And that is the categories of organic compounds.